All right, what's up, everybody? 10X Tuesday, and we got the one and only Jane Floyd. I have known Jane for more than 20 years, more than 20 years. I think it's 30 years. I've been in
Is
the business
30.
38 years, and Jane and I were in a mastermind. Jane, what year was that we were masterminding together?
Like what, 93 maybe? 94?
Yeah,
Long time
94.
ago?
So we were
Yeah.
like, oh, geez. Stephen Marshall was in our mastermind. Uh, God, we had, um, Scott Cummings and I have been texting back and forth. Anyways, it's good to have you, Jane. It's been a long time, and I hope to have you more active in our community as a leader. So welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Honored, 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 Dave.
Well, I know a lot about you, but this community, I have not interviewed you as much. So I want to just unpack the market you're in, the kind of volume you do. Tell a little bit about your mortgage practice before we get into the topic at hand.
Okay. So I'll tell you about the mortgage practice real quick. So I'm in Tampa, Florida, and I was my when you and I were masterminding way back when, I was a broker for 22 and a half years and then switched to correspondent. It's been about 12 years now. And so been doing that basically ever since. Our market, Dave, is the I guess the best word that I'm going to say right now, I think everybody's market is very inconsistent, is a good word. There's absolutely no sense of urgency right now for people buying. And we still are we've got about 2 more months, Dave, on top of all the uncertainty and the cooling off periods. We still have people that are waiting until hurricane season is over to purchase. So, I think, Dave, what we have to do is look at like what's working, what's not working, what do we need to do differently. My business has always been primarily real estate agents. I've give or take somewhere between right now, I think it's only like 68%, but I've always been a minimum of, 68% to 80% real estate agent. So that's been my primary focus. And then this year the initiative was really to work my database more because I should be. But you know what, we're in it's very interesting because there are pockets, Dave, that are still, there's lists of buyers' needs, and then there are plenty of homes that are still sitting on the market. And so we've seen in a few reports that declining income. So does that really sum up what's going on in my market?
It does. What is your estimated volume? Like how many loans
Yeah,
are you closing for the year? What do you think where are you at now, and
I
where do
am
you think
where
you'll
I'm.
land for the year?
Yeah. So through August, Dave, my team is at 185 units for 84 million. So if we're on track for conservatively 120, about 126 million conservatively, which is about 277 units. And the reason I say conservatively, because if you look at January and February, because of the hurricanes and what our market went through, both Milton and Helene, I mean, it was just a screeching halt. So, but averaging, even if I use those numbers, that's where we'll end up. So I'm pretty proud of the team because we're up from last year and we're hitting our goals.
Well, you should be more than pretty proud of the team. And guys, think about the challenges in her market. And every market has challenges, but
Everyone.
having people on hold, not just for our rates going up or down or values going up or down, but oh, I want to wait until after hurricane season. So, definitely your fair share of market challenges, but yet that volume is just incredible. I mean, you are in the high level of the top 1% in the country. And then you always do over 100 million in volume for the most part, don't you? I mean, that's pretty typical.
Yeah.
And obviously during the COVID years, you were probably doubling that.
Yeah.
Um, and then Jane has also been one of the most prolific coaches in the mortgage industry. How many people do you think you've coached over the years?
I think it's somewhere around 250, Dave.
So 250 loan officers that she's coached.
Hmm.
She is a producing manager. So she just shared like her team, but she also manages a group for NFM. So let's you picked the headline today. You know, I said, "Hey, what do you want to make the topic of the day?" And you came up with staying relevant and resilient in today's market. You know, why'd
Hmm.
you pick that headline? What were you thinking?
Well, I'd just like to share like a few initiatives that we've been working on. And when I say, like everything's changing, right? With AI, Dave, with the internet, with the way people can shop. And instead of focusing on what I can't change, right? I'm just trying to focus on what do I need to do and how do I need to lead the team? What do we need to do differently, right? We have to get out of that box. And so, and I'm always asking agents like what they're seeing, right? And then we're adapting like what we're doing to accommodate, because I'll tell you, Dave, bar none, almost every single solitary agent that I speak to every week. And then John Norsworthy, who runs my team, who's been with me over 18 years, almost 19 years. You've met John. Every Tuesday he does our updates. And so when we do our Wednesday meeting, he's always giving us feedback. What are you hearing this week? What are you hearing this week? And honestly, Dave, it's been the same. I hate to use this word, but a lot of agents are saying buyers and sellers are both psychotic right now. So they're so uneasy on moving forward with buying because of multiple reasons, right? And then analyzing the data of my leads were way down, Dave. So, for example, one of my key initiatives for 2025 was to raise my conversions, because I'm always looking at how do I take stress off my team, right? I'm just, I don't, I'm trying to just take stress off people. And with all the changes, again, AI, the internet shopping, even you do a mortgage coach and you do a Zoom and you're in love with us. And then, at the ninth hour, someone comes in and beats you out, right? And so they get the deal. So we've literally looked at conversions and we were 23 and change. We're 23.13% conversions last year. Year to date, Dave, we're 33.52% on our conversions. And so to me, the reason I wanted to do that was because yes, more leads solve all problems. There's no doubt about that. However, we're getting less leads. So if we can take those conversions up, right? Hence, we can still, hit the numbers.
The conversion, are you calculating that based off of credit report to close loan, or what is the calculation to come up with that
Well,
conversion?
we track a lot on our scorecards every week, but that calculation that I gave you is leads in to close, period. Bottom line, I've been tracking that for years, Dave.
So your
Leads
credit
in to
report to
close.
close loan is even better than that, because you
Oh,
did
yeah.
not get a credit report on all those.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I've tracked for years, right? And I've watched it go up and down and actually 23 last year. The year before it was even worse, but again, hence more leads. But again, I'm just looking at with the cost to produce a loan now, Dave, right? We got to look at how do we get costs down, right? So I had to look at freeing up time.
What are some of the things that you do that you think are most important to conversion? Because I agree with you. I think that is an incredibly important metric. And for all the loan officers listening in, I think you should be measuring leads to close loans. And for all the loan officers and managers, because managers, you may not be able to measure that, but you can measure credit report to close loan. And you should be benchmarking that and then asking loan officers the question I'm going to ask Jane right now. What are some of the things that help you from a lead conversion standpoint? And anything new that you're doing to you think has improved your lead conversion?
I'll give you a couple new things, but first let me tell you, deep dive on time and energy, which I'm constantly reevaluating that, right? So how do we get conversions up and where are we spending, right? Where are we spending our time? And I realize now that I I think I feel like I'm doing both, right? Um, Casting a wide net, and I'll tell you how I'm doing that, but then also casting a smaller net, and that smaller net is the people that I spend my time with, right? So to get those conversions up, because for example, on that wide net, which is for me, that wide net is social media, doing a lot on social, uh, and a lot of community involvement. So let's say I get somebody that's only, doing a few, I don't know, 4 or 5 deals a year, but they give me two and I convert both of them. Wow, right? But then they're not getting a coffee, a lunch. They're not getting my time, right? My individual time or my team's individual time. But those agents that are doing a lot of business have teams like myself. That's where our blocking our calendar, we've done for years, but we're always re-engineering it, right? Of what are we doing? So, for example, one of the new things that we added, Dave, I've been doing lunch and learns for, I don't know, close to 20 years, right? And we're still doing them. We are still doing lunch and learns. We are still bringing in some of the recent ones. Insurance obviously is a big deal here. Appraisers. Uh, One of the new things as we started realizing the shift in our market, Dave, it's been years since it's been a buyer's market or even a balanced market, Dave. And I know that's true in a lot of places, right? So what I'm in polling these agents that are A agents, right? That like, how can we add value? We hear that. How can we help you convert more? How can we help you sell more houses? And they've got properties sitting, I'm in real estate office meetings as much as I can and I'm invited to, and listening to them all say the same thing. Well, I've got this listing. It's priced right. I can't even get anybody to look at it, right? So one of the things we added, and we'll have our second one Friday. We had our first one last month. We partner with the title company, and we're doing a pitch. We did a pitch session. Huge success. We haven't done that in a long time, right? Because who needs to pitch a property that's flying off the market? But when I tell you huge success, Dave, I personally picked up 3 new agents from it. I think we got 5 leads. And these are agents coming together in the community outside of their brokerage. They get their 90-second pitch. We are timing it. And so that was a huge success, right? We even had people in there that were texting properties like to buyers at that moment.
Love it. Love it. So that's a new move. Um,
Yeah.
what specifically, and I do want to go wide net and talk about that, but what are the best practices to lead conversion? Because I've created lead conversion playbooks, and one of the things I've heard a lot from top producers is that how people are referred to you. You probably train your realtors to refer you in a certain way. Um, but if there were like, I don't know, 3 to 5 checkpoints, that's the Jane Floyd team conversion playbook, so that you get a lead, you convert it into, whether it's a refi or a purchase, you convert it. What are some of those keys to success?
Well, Dave, you hit the number one, and that's in our process of when we're constantly reevaluating the agents and the numbers, because we look at referrals and conversions from every agent, and then obviously we look at are they using anybody else? So I think the number one thing is teaching them how to refer, and the agents that refer my team and only my team, obviously the conversions are much higher. And I'll tell you, I had to change, everything is about, right, like what we feed into our head, right? I used to be really annoyed, Dave, if Dave, you said, hey, you know what, call Jane Floyd and call Jeremy Forcier. Like, really, Dave? Like, but that's what people would do, right? You're going to refer to great loan officers or whoever. So it's having those really, like, I have no problem having, and you know that about me, having really hard conversations, right? And I found some that just they just, no matter what I would say, Dave, in their soul, they feel like even though they may love me, they love my team, they know we're the best of the best of the best. Raving fan surveys is my standard, but they still feel like they got it. They're like, you're number one, but I still got to give a list out. So that's what I'm talking about, is really identifying those agents that don't do that, that are going to lay on the sword, right, for our business. So I think, because again, with AI and the internet, everybody is taught to shop, right? So the second thing I did, I said, okay, you feel like they need to shop. Well, do me a favor, Dave. Can you do this for me? Instead of having them shop the rate, right? Can you do me a favor? Could you just ask the client if you feel like you have to do that? And remember, Dave, this is somebody that hits my standards, right? That gives me energy, right? That I want to be in relationship with. Can you try this? If you feel like you have to do that, don't shop the rate. Don't shop the mortgage. Shop the loan officer up front. If you feel like they've got to talk to somebody else, let's do that right up front. So I think that was really key for me in really explaining, and explaining that. So those are just a couple of, how to refer, because I'll tell you, Dave, and that's an ongoing process. Like I mentioned, I picked up 3 new agents from this last event. Again, there's always 2 parts to the sale, right? Acquisition and retention. And I will tell you, Dave, I pay really close attention to retention, right? Because man, everybody's trying to get our business, right? So constantly, asking the agents, like, you know, what, what is it? Why do you feel like you need to shop? And then, at the end of the day, if that agent's going to give out 3 names, then I'm going to spend my time somewhere else.
Got it. And where does Mortgage Coach play into your sales process? Where do you integrate that?
Right up front. So, do you want me to tell you like how my team works
Yeah,
a
yeah.
little
Tell
bit?
us.
Because that can answer your question. So I have 3 loan partners that this is another thing that I explain to every agent, because obviously we're not getting as many leads as we used to, but there's no way one person can handle all leads. So I explain to every agent, I've been doing this for years. I partner on every single loan with one of 3 people, Dylan, Ken, or April. And that is to serve your client to the highest level. And so either, it depends, either that way they're prepared when they are referring us, that you're not going to always get Jane. And so their tip, I'd say probably, Dave, 70% of the time, they're doing the initial call, and the client knows it. We schedule, but we do our best, and we're really pretty good at it, even when we're introduced by text or by email, with immediately scheduling. Hey, Dave, oh, it's great. You want to work? Can you meet at 2, 4, or 5, whatever? Take the initial call, and then the team schedules a Zoom, and that's where Mortgage Coach comes in. That's one of the differentiators that Mortgage Coach does for us. Like the agents that they're like, wow. And we show the agents that. In fact, I'm doing a presentation on the 18th in a big office to just show them the whole office mortgage coach and how we're using mortgage coach. So and then if I'm not doing the initial call, every single client, I'm doing an honor call.
Love that. Love that. How do you like or your team, whoever's using it, the new AI enablement that we've put into the Mortgage Coach total cost analysis?
Well, I'm obsessed, absolutely obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with AI, period. And that's, sorry, we're jumping around a little bit, but when you say what's new, like that's something that I've had the team, I've had every one of them have to take 30 minutes a week and work on AI and learn something new. But the AI, for example, oh God, I forgot her name already. This just happened yesterday or the day before. Client just absolutely loving the AI portion of mortgage coach because they're like, wow, this is the coolest thing ever. We're comparing these three options. We can ask, hey, I'm only going to be in this house for 3 years. Which is the best option for me to use? Or, explain what APR is. AI is I feel, Dave, that if you're not using it, man, again, going back to the cost to do mortgages right now, you're really going to be left behind.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm actually gonna pull up one of your mortgage coaches that you sent me over before the call. And is this pretty standard where you show three options? Like this is
Oh,
no
three op is definitely, we use it. We use rent versus sale. We use a lot of them, but yes, three options for sure.
three options. And then for folks, I'll put a link to this in chat, but you can interact with it with the chat bot down here below. And you could ask it questions like, if I'm going to live in the home for 1 year and then I might refinance it, what's the best option? Whatever question that consumer has, uh, what is the lowest cash to close and down payment? Whatever question you have, and then just a reminder to everyone, you're getting a transcript of what took place. Like if they asked a question like, "Are these rates competitive in the market?" You're going to know that that was asked, and as you can see here, I'm not able to answer that question. Please contact Jane to discuss rates. Her contact information is in the Mortgage Coach total cost analysis. Um, so make sure that you're using that. Make sure that you have some prompts. I'm seeing a lot of loan officers. We really need to be smart around what prompts are going to help home buyers make confident and clear decisions. So make sure you know some of those prompts. I'd love to know how you're using Mortgage Coach to help you build confidence and clarity for realtors. Because you mentioned early on that, hey, I'm a conversion partner for my realtors. Like I'm focused on conversion, and then I'm helping realtors with conversion. How does that sound? Like, what are you doing there?
Well, first, back up 1 second. I want to tell you I told you, I'm always looking at like, where's the frustration coming? You know, where's my team's frustration coming from? And what I've seen the AI portion of Mortgage Coach do, like the frustration is it's 6:30 on a Friday night and everyone's on date night or whatever, right? And so they don't want that phone call asking which is the best option, right? So I just think that that's so valuable for people to think about. Somebody can be using this AI portion at all hours of the night and weekends. So another huge time saver. And then when the confidence and clarity, Dave, you hit the nail on the head. The majority of our market, I'm speaking for my local market, they're not confident, right? They're not confident. So these agents don't have clarity on what to do. But using Mortgage Coach by like just showing them, even if, okay, you here's a great example. Last night, I had a client. It was a large loan, and my average loan amount's only like 480. This was and I do a decent amount of jumbos, but it was a $3.1 million deal. And the guy, by the way, an agent that I haven't given up on in 8 years. First lead, he's been promising me, promising. First lead, great borrower. And he literally said, you know what? I was going to wait till the hurricanes are over, but now I'm going to buy. And so, how we're using Mortgage Coach to build confidence with the agents when they see this, we're showing the borrowers, all right, we all know, or I think we all believe that when rates do go down, and for us, when this doggone, hurricane season's over and people get that out of their brain, you know what? The demand is going to pick up. So why do you want to wait until 6 months or next year when rates, whatever, right? So it all goes to math and data, Dave. So that's what the agents are loving. Like, here's a graph you can show. You can't lie with the math. So that's how I think Mortgage Coach can give just so much confidence and differentiate us, right, from our competitors. They're not doing that. They're just sending out a fee sheet.
Right. By the way, are you starting to see any rate and term refis, or are you starting to prepare
Mhm.
for that? And if so, what are you doing? Because obviously you got to win with realtors. I mean, that is the market, but refis are starting to pop up. That's come up in both of my past few interviews. Where's that at with you?
Okay, so, well, not starting, Dave, we've been preparing for this for over a year. And because right now my company is servicing any loans right now. And if our company also has their own chat GPT. I personally use the team uses that for a lot of efficiencies as far as dock scrubbing, and they've really advanced and are working on improving that. Personally, I'm still using the regular GPT chat for everything else that I do, but because of that, Dave, we are inundating them. It is text campaigns, email campaigns. We are calling them. I mean, to be honest with you, it's ad nauseum, but not one person has said stop, right? Because the service, if your client is being serviced by someone other than you with your picture on the statement, watch out. So that's one of the things I do spend. um, I'm really big on my where my phone calls, right? Blocking who I'm calling and when I'm calling. And I'm calling every client. I mean, I carry around a list of everybody that's over a certain interest rate, right? So I'm continuously following up. And to answer your question, I think we we closed maybe four of them in August. So it's crazy because think about it, Dave, rates were pushing 8%.
Yeah, no, they're down. So guys, I'm going to show you a perfect rate in term refi experience. I just put a link in chat. I want everybody to click on it right now. We've got 108 people live, and I just put that link. So click on that, and when you click on it, let me know in chat that you're looking at it. And I'm actually gonna, Jade, I don't know if you've seen this, but we launched a new Mortgage Coach Next Gen app yesterday. So by the way,
I've
guys,
heard you talk about it. No, I'm dying to
already,
see it, Dave.
if you're already a mortgage coach, this is our new app. And so by the way, look it on the mobile phone. You can see this rate and term refi that I just shared has been viewed 38 times. Here's some other ones I've seen. You can see that it's been engaged with AI. So like, let's say you have a pre-approval experience that you've given to a consumer, you'll know how many times it's been viewed, and you'll know whether the consumer has started interacting with that with AI. And now when I click on that app, this is where it starts getting unbelievably cool. Oh, by the way, guys, we're up to 59 views now. And so I
Wow.
can see whether they've done it. I could hit record and add a video. I could hit share. And again, from my mobile phone, share it. I can view these presentations. And by the way, guys, I can click the live highlighting feature. So like Jane, let's say you were sharing this on Zoom. on your mobile phone right now, I could again record the video from the mobile phone. I could share from the mobile phone. And then whatever I'm clicking on my mobile phone. So for everyone who's watching this online right now, you guys are seeing this live. It is controlling your screen. Like I'm able to walk you through, like Jane, click on that link and walk you through from the mobile phone. So again, new superpower from Mortgage Coach. I can ask questions, what don't I know from the AI feature? Uh, you guys can all click on it. But by the way, guys, the best practice for refis are basically showing people, hey, here's your current loan. Here's refinancing it. You could either refinance it and lower your payment, in this case by $321 a month, or you could take that 321, apply it to the principal, and you could pay off the house faster. Like what makes more sense? Saving the 205,000 over the life loan, paying off the house in 23 years. So this is the best practice to deliver refi TCAs is showing people like, do you want to save monthly X, or do you want to pay off your home faster and save XYZ in interest? And again, make sure you have this new app downloaded. One more little feature on the app before I stop sharing it. If you have your database uploaded with us, we're being predictive. Like we're looking at that database and we're telling you like, hey, here's who's most likely to move up. When you click on the move up analysis, we're giving you scripts, what to say if you text, what to say if you email, what to say if you call. If you hit the text button, it's like, boom, just never been easier. And by the way, this app is out and in the market now. So everyone, this is
Wow,
Mortgage Coach Next Gen. You like that, Jane?
that's incredible. I can't wait.
Cool. So for all you mortgage coaches, as a reminder for all the individual users, you will just have the presentation. You will not have that predictive data. That is an enterprise solution, and we need to have the database. So it looks like people are downloading it. And
Yeah,
by the
that,
way, you can create a TCA in less than a minute with that. Like one more little demo. I'm not going to try to do it in, you know, less than a minute myself right now, but we did a webinar when we were getting ready to announce this. Here's a little 44-second demo of how fast you could create a TCA on that mobile app. So let's check Spencer out creating it in 44 seconds. Here we go.
All right. Importing a contact. And we're going to do some different purchase prices here to show someone who might be shopping and wanted to put 20% down. I'll throw in some closing costs. We'll go do an estimate of our monthly costs here. And then we're going to go add a second purchase price option.
And add templates.
I'll redo the down payment. Everything copied over. And look at that. Done. We just did a TCA in 44 seconds for my buddy Justin here, who wanted to go look at a couple different purchase price options.
Now, guys, I am not saying that is the fastest way to do a total cost analysis. It's a mobile app. Still, the fastest way to do it is using our Encompass integration, where literally you go to Mortgage Coach, pull it on the desktop, by the way, pull
yeah.
it from Encompass. That is absolutely the fastest, best practice way. And or with the Optimal Blue integration, where literally you could go from pricing the loan in Optimal Blue. But by the way, all three of those, less than a minute, you could create a mortgage coach. So highly recommend, if you're with a lender that has Encompass, ask your lender to have that turned on. It is plug and play. James with a company that has that, and it does look like that is your typical workflow. Cool.
Mhm.
All right.
Yeah.
So Jay, we are just past halftime, and I think we've gone pretty high level on a number of things. I think you've given some really good tactics. You said a couple words in the headline, staying relevant and resilient in today's market. And you've also mentioned AI a few times, because I do think to stay relevant, first of all, you need to be delivering a digital experience like MortgageCoach to clients, but you need to be using AI. What are some of the things that you are doing to stay relevant, and that you are also advocating loan officers? Like, everyone listening to this, for the most part, is a local referral based originator, and their businesses are coming mostly from realtors in their database. Some are doing a fair amount of new builder business. But what do local professionals need to do to stay relevant, in your opinion?
Well, again, I go back to for me, I'm looking at what do the agents need? Obviously, I'm really working my database, but let's talk about that. Like, so for example, for quite a while, Dave, we were doing, again, listings not moving. What can we do to help? Which is staying relevant in front of my agents' faces. So how do we help you with that, right? And it was 2-1 buy down options almost at nauseum, right? We were doing just so many 2-1 buy downs, and we still are doing some of those, but another thing that we've added that has been really helpful and also is bringing in business is these listings that aren't selling. We are offering, so agents are putting literally in the listing agreement, okay, my seller, for example, one of them we did, my seller is going to pay $30,000, and it equates to approximately, this would be a real buy down, not a 2-1. And that just depends on the client. But if you use my lender, the Jane Floyd team, so we're gonna pay $30,000 in buying the rate down, and they're literally putting that in the listing agreement. So it's working. It's helping. It's helping to, when I say stay relevant, like all they want is, how can you help me sell more houses right now? Because what and I work with some great agents, Dave, and it's painful to hear them tell me about the conversations with their sellers, right? Because everybody thinks their house is the greatest. The market doesn't relate to them, and we all think our kids are the greatest, right? So, and the best ball player. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, that's the world and that's the market, but not my house. My house is special, right? And so they're all just having those conversations. And so just trying to give them, okay, what can we help you do to maybe move that house, instead of, dropping the price because you feel like it's priced right, that's just probably one of the things that we're doing. And then, relevant to me is also, Dave, visible. Like, I still use phone burner. I've used it for, I don't even know how many years, Dave. And so what's going on right now in the market? What event am I having? I do, like, yesterday's phone burner was about my pitch session coming up this Friday. So today we'll do another one. We hit 30 yesterday, we'll hit another 30. And so I'll tell you, it's not just the phone burner with the message, which is the best, which is just super efficient, but then immediately a text goes out with the actual invite on it. And I'm telling you, we get probably a 60% open rate, and then a callback. The callbacks are also awesome. So it's, what is my go-to conversation that day? Is it this event? Is it a new product that might help you? Most of the time it's inviting them to an event.
By the
Another
way,
thing that,
what does
yeah,
that
go ahead.
sound like? I want to hear, just like Jane Floyd, you called it go-to conversation or go-to script. What does it sound like right now? Like, what are you saying? What are you doing?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll just do yesterday's with something like this, because remember, that's a recorded message. So I can't say, hey, Dave, but it's a recorded message. It's got to be super quick and super to the point. So it's, hey, it's Jane, happy Monday. Listen, I think you missed our last pitch session, which was such a success. If you have any listings that are just sitting or that you've had price drops on that you just can't move, our next pitch session is this Friday, 9 o'clock at blah, blah, blah. Also, if you've got a buyer that you have that unique property and you need to pitch that, please come. You'll commune with other agents. Period. Wasn't that long. I was rambling, but that was my message. I think it was 41 seconds, and we already got, like yesterday, we got 10 RSVPs to the event, and then multiple people. In fact, just got 2 more before I came on here, Dave. But again, inviting them to the event and telling them why they want to come, right? Why they want to come. You have 90 seconds to pitch that listing.
So Jane, we're getting ready to launch a new social media brand called Uncommon LO. And so, by the way, folks, the Uncommon LO will be both a TikTok account and Instagram. We're only going to have it on those 2 channels. The videos and the content are going to be under 90 seconds, although under a minute is the target. And I will try to get Jane to create a little 1-minute video with a why come to her pitch session. Like, I love that idea. I'm gonna try to talk you into just recording one of those little less than a minute Jane Floyd. And then I want everybody to hear the formula she is. She basically said, "Hey, Jane," with energy. Like, anybody that knows Jane, like, there's Jane energy. Like, she's showing up. She's a lighthouse. Like, she's smiling. She's happy. You can't be in the same room with this woman and not smile and be happy, feel inspired and energized. So she's got that energy going for her. And then she's like, problem. Hey, and she knows most realtors have a listing that is sitting. Most agents have a listing that they're going to have a awkward price reduction conversation. So she, like, names problems. And if you want to come and get solutions, this is what time I'm doing it, and this is where I'm doing it. So the formula is common problem that everybody has, and then brief, quick solution. And guys, we're in the mortgage and real estate business. There's always problems. It just depends on what market we're in, whether the problem is, oh, come learn how to win in multiple offer situations. Like, that's not the biggest problem right now in most markets, but that's a problem in the next market. So I hope you guys got that. It was super golden. So Jane, we are rolling into the 4th quarter, and I want you to put your coach's hat on and go from, like, you're just unpacking your best practices. But let's say you were coaching a bunch of loan officers right now, and I think it's safe to assume, if we've got a room of 100 LOs, which we do, only a small portion of them are achieving their goals. Like, you're achieving your goals for the year. In fact, you're doing better than last year. But let's pretend that the most people on the call right now are not achieving their goals. Give them a process, give them some thoughts on how they could identify the challenges and make some tweaks so that they stay relevant going forward.
Great question and segue. And I'm going to echo 1 second what you said, Dave, because here's where it starts before you start identifying problems. The problem is me, right? So the problem is the loan officer, and it starts, like, right here, Dave. And you have to get yourself in the mindset. When you said energy, like, and you've known me a long time, this energy comes natural for me, but there's some days I want to kick the dog. I mean, like, there are days where I am just like, I don't like myself, but I cannot allow myself to be like that, right? Because that comes off, right? If you are not in the most positive, confident mindset, don't make the phone call. Don't walk into the real estate office, right? You have to do whatever it takes for 30 days straight, Dave. Shannon Shinkle sent me this. I literally played, and I even played it again this morning because for whatever reason, I didn't sleep last night, and I have big day today. Rise Up. Have you ever heard it? The song Rise
Oh yeah.
Up?
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's a laugh every time.
played it for 30 days straight one time. And I played it this morning, right? Because it just gets me so freaking pumped up, right? But so first of all, do whatever it takes to get yourself in the positive mindset. And then you like, here's a really good example, Dave. Like I was called up this morning. It was just for a really quick, there was about 40 agents live and 30 on a screen in a real estate office, and didn't know, just spur of the moment called up and wanted me to just talk about something. So there's this one person that's looking at me that I just could care less what I had to say, right? They were, and I glanced at that person and they were, not interested at all. Years ago, like, oh my God, that just would have like ruined me, like absolutely ruined me. But instead, no way. Like, I mean, there are other people there that want to hear what I have to say, right? And so you just have to be confident in what is the value that you're delivering, right? What is that? Like for me, it's this pitch session right now. There's just been multiple things that of factual data, and that's where AI comes in. Like use it every morning, see what's happening in your market, right? So I think it's you have that energy is super important. And then Dave, honestly, it goes back to old time, old school, whatever you want to call it, but your calendar, man, you gotta have your non-negotiable time blocks. You every single day, Dave. I know when I'm doing my power hours, they are totally protected, like totally protected. My power hours are. It doesn't matter what's happening in the world, right? I know when I'm having a one-on-one with somebody or I'm in an office, like I am fully present. So you just have to be consistent. I think if let me just this is another little thing if anybody's really struggling, because people somebody said, actually, our buddy Greg Shear said this to me. I'm like, Greg, are you kidding me? He didn't return someone's phone call that left him two messages. I'm like, dude, what's up? You didn't return her phone call. He goes, who leaves messages anymore? I was like, well, okay. She did, so don't be rude and return it. But so here's something I've been doing. I started this like I think it was in December, and actually, I got it from I've gotten so much from Jeremy Forcier over the years. Like this, I took what he was doing and then I tweaked it. And this is what I've been doing. That voice text on the phone thingy, where if you don't keep it, then they listen to it. So I started testing that, and it was just incredible. So I was like, or like say I'm somewhere and I can't be at my desk and have my mortgage coach, I mean my phone burner going. I just leave those voice texts because you and I were doing it all day yesterday. Who doesn't listen to them, right?
Oh yeah.
Everybody listens to them. I think maybe out of all of them, maybe 5% in all I've been doing for the past 9 months have somebody not listened to. So that's another thing. Like, hey, if you're searching to get agents, just give them some tidbit. Did you know the feds did this? Did you realize that our second home pricing is off the chain? Did you know you can just whatever, just come up with something, but block it. Like I know I have to make a absolute minimum of 70 phone calls a week, Dave. That's my minimum. So just
And when do you
set.
do those by typically? Do you do them by noon?
Yeah, I love your win by noon. And I feel like, you know me, I'm up super early. Mine are usually done by noon, unless like my calendar won't permit for me to, but here's what I find. Call time between 10 and 1, I have the best chance of someone answering or calling me right back. And on times when, like, another huge opportunity right now, I mean, I don't know about everybody's market, but my market, open houses, woo, they're huge on the weekends. I haven't been popping in on any, but on Saturdays, if you do want to make phone calls, man, that prime time, 10 to 12, calling your past clients, asking for referrals. I'm really consistent with my 30-day calls. I never, ever, ever miss a 30-day closing call. I never miss an anniversary call. And that Saturday time frame, I have the best conversations if I'm not, traveling or anything, and I don't mind blocking that 2 hours. So those are some things that are really working for me to get into my 70 calls.
Yeah. And guys, Jane said, oh, it comes natural for me. Well, no, here's the deal, guys. You pick your habits and your habits pick your life. And Jane has picked some really good habits. Also, you guys hear me talk a lot about the code. If you are winning and killing it, you got a great code. Like your code is your beliefs, your principles, your philosophies, these little internal mantras that you have. I put a link to my code in chat. It's a book I'm currently writing called Know Your Code. But I would push everybody like what is your code? You notice she started off with extreme ownership and just talking about how like you own it. Like if you are not winning in this market, regardless of the challenges of the market, it's either you have a broken code, like you don't have the right beliefs, the right philosophies, or you are not living them. Like it's one or the other, because I interview enough top producers to know that you can win in this market. So Jane, we got about 5 minutes left. I have to jump into another training, so we're gonna wrap up 5 minutes. And by the way, guys, if you have questions for Jane, ask them now before we run out of time. Uh, Linda Buchanan, I see you here. You said gold. If you have a question for Jane, put it in chat. Mike asked a question. Are you talking about calling referral partners or customers? Customers who are currently working, call later in the day? Do you see that,
Does he mean
Mike?
the Saturday call, or does he mean the Saturday call, or is he talking my
I'm not
power hours?
sure. It was 2 minutes ago he asked. And Mike, if you want to clarify that, uh, clarify it. I heard a bunch of different kinds of calls that she's making.
I'll tell you, if it's the Saturday calls, I'm literally on Saturdays.
Oh,
Between
between,
one and
yep.
that's mostly agents. Yeah, that's mostly agents. I'll tell you, I find so agents between 10 and 1. And then if I'm doing my 30-day call, or any other happy birthday anniversary call, I find that in the afternoon, like 4:30 to 5:30, I keep people answer their phone driving out.
Love that. Love that. So any podcasts that you watch regularly, any content that you're putting in your head most often to be your best?
Yeah, so obviously yours, Dave, I cannot thank you enough for all that you do. And everybody that you interview, are just amazing. So I get a lot of them from there. I'm big on Mel Robbins, just
Love Mel
really, really
Robbins.
big on,
Let them,
yeah,
let them,
yeah, yeah, let
let
them,
me.
let me, obviously I've always been a big Ed Milet. I've kind of had to wean myself a little bit because I was just obsessed. But I think at the end of the day, it's figure out what you do need to put in your head. And then for me, not only I had to take a step back and stop putting so much in my head, Dave, because I just wanted to do so much. So I've taken a lot more time to myself now, just to reevaluate what's going on in life, right? And I just have to share this because it made me think of you. Do you remember? I mean, and there's so many different versions of it. I think the biggest thing for everybody is, my daughter always says, "You do you, boo." Figure out what it is you want out of your business and your life. Remember, Todd Duncan always used to remember Life by Design. We go way back with that, and
Oh yeah,
I was actually looking at and Steve Scanlon and Daniel Harkavy looking at some of how I wanted my life to look at, way back. And it's like, wow, but take the time to figure out, what it is you want your business to look like. I just think that that's so critical, and who you want to surround yourself with.
I love that. So I want to remind you guys. Oh, by the way, you said you watch a lot of the Mortgage Coach content. I think how people watch it and how people take action is not equal. Like you do a great job of watching this content, taking action, when you watch some of the content in the video or have people on your team do it, what's your action plan to go from idea, oh, we heard that, to putting it into action? Just give us really high level quick.
Oh, you got to have somebody like that's gonna like I have someone that's gonna execute. So it's all about execution, right? Period. Bottom line. So if I listen to something, I'm going to forward it to 2 to 3 people on the team, and I'm going to go, okay, Caitlin, you got this. April, I need you to do this. I like that app you showed us, right? That's going to be April and Patrick signing
April and
up for
Patrick, let us know if you need help.
and bringing it back to the team, and then we'll talk about it on the team meetings. Yeah, execution's
Love it.
everything.
And then, by the way, guys, when we speak about execution, if you go to our website and you go to resources, you click on training, we've got on-demand training, we've got live training. If you're new, sign up here. For everyone that wants to execute, every Wednesday at 9 o'clock, you can sign up for a training. So if you want to sign up for tomorrow's training, put your name and information, and we'll have a success manager on there. So go to our website, training. Actually, I just clicked on the Tuesday podcast, but every Wednesday we have training, but you have to sign up for it. So check that out. Hopefully you got value from today. Make sure download the app. Hopefully you're getting tons of value. If you're with a company that does not have Mortgage Coach built into your tech stack, it's not integrated with Encompass, Optimal Blue, whatever pricing engine you use, whatever CRM that you use, we can help you. You can either email me direct at dave@mortgagecoach, or you can go to our website and sign up. If you're an individual LO, you can sign up for Mortgage Coach today. Jane, you are an amazing gift to this community. Also, thank you for being a First Home IQ ambassador. Jane is one of the top donors to First Home IQ. We should do an interview at a different date on how you're helping first-time home buyers and how you're using First Home IQ. So let's save that for another day.
Awesome. Thank you. Honored, honored. Dave, really quick, I saw a couple questions. 813-758-8334 is my cell that went on and went off. Feel free to text me and I'll answer them.
And
Thanks,
follow
Dave.
her on social media, follow her on Instagram. Any place else you
Oh,
want to
thank
make sure
you.
to follow you?
No, that's it. I'm honored. Thank you so much.
And
I can
if you're
help
listening to
anybody reach
this,
out.
there'll be a link down below. Thank you, housing link, housing.link. All the links that we mentioned will be down there, and we'll also put Jane's mobile number there. So hope you got value today. Take care, everybody.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.